Hello all, I'm Marin. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a recap of the 12 books that I put on my official 2025 TBR. So let's go ahead and get into it. Last year during Bookmas, I did a recap of my 24 and 2024 where I ranked all of the books from my least favorite to favorite, and then I sort of combined all the numbers together to give an overview of how my yearly TBRs have gone in terms of rating. So I want to keep that going this year, and I'm going to go ahead and recap the 12 books that I put on my 2025 TBR. In 2025, I did not do the 25 books in 2025 trend because I felt like 25 books were too many. So instead, I took 12, which broke down to one per month had I stayed on that reading pace, which I did not. I got off a little bit, so at the end was doing a little bit of scrambling, but I have finished all 12 books on the TBR. I will go ahead and link you to that video up above in the cards if you want to go back and watch that TBR, but basically I took 6 books that I really wanted to read, including some new releases, and then I used the randomize function on Goodreads to pick 6 other random books to fill out the 12 books. So that's how I came up with this list. Right now I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick rundown from my least favorite to favorite of that, and then I did create like a tier ranking graphic which I will put on the screen for you to get a closer look. Let me go ahead and move over just a tiny bit, and then we're going to go ahead and just run through this. I am not going to give you full synopses for these because I did that in the video that I've already linked, but I will try to give you like 1 or 2 sentences talking about my feelings regarding the book. So starting off with my least favorite book of the year, this was my only DNF from this list, and that is Heart's Blood by Juliet Marillier. I have read from this author before and enjoyed it, but there was something about this book that I just didn't like. I felt like it was taking too long for anything of note to happen, and I just was not having a good time. So I DNF'd it a little bit before the halfway point, I think. Coming in at number 11 is 56 Days by Catherynne Ryan Howard. This is a mystery thriller set in the beginning stages of the COVID lockdown in 2020, featuring a murder and then a murder mystery. However, I personally did not find it very twisty or turny. Nothing was particularly surprising, and it honestly took me a long time to get through it, so I only gave this one 2 stars. At number 10 is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. This one I also gave 2 stars. I just did not have a good time with it, and I think this is just an issue of me not being a fan of the writing style more than anything else. So I've kind of crossed Juno Dawson off of my TBR in general because I just don't think her writing is for me. Coming in at number 9 is This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead, which I gave 3 stars. I was really looking forward to this because I am one of the few that actually liked Midnight is the Darkest Hour, which was her release last year. But this one was, 1, too long. So this led to a lot of the main narrator's internal ramblings becoming very repetitive. And also I felt like this was too soon to be basing a book off of a real life murder investigation. So this book is based on the real life murders that took place at the University of Idaho, and I just felt like it was in poor taste to use that as your plot device in this book, considering that that just happened. So I just had like an icky feeling throughout the whole reading of this book. I settled on 3 stars because there were parts of this that I enjoyed, but I really did not have a good time with this book. At number 8 is Before We Were Innocent by Ella Berman. This one is marketed as mystery thriller when really it probably should just be more general fiction. I had a decent time with it overall, but it's not anything that's going to stay with me, so I'm settling at 3 stars for its rating as well. At number 7 is Love Theoretically by Hazelwood. I liked this one, particularly the main male character, but I didn't love the main female character. I still had a good time with it. I've enjoyed almost everything I've read by Hazelwood, but this one was just not as good, in my opinion, as either Check and Mate or The Love Hypothesis, both of which I gave 5 stars. Coming in at number 6 is Comfort Me with Apples by Catherynne M. Valente. This is a short horror novella that I read for a buzzword pick, and I actually really liked this one. I usually have trouble with novellas because I find that they are too short, because of course they are novellas, but it worked really well for this one. I liked the vibes, I liked her writing, I liked the story itself, and I gave it 4 stars. At number 5 is The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark. This one I actually had to read physically. So the reason it's ranked higher than the other 4 stars is that I was able to read it physically and stay engaged the entire time, which does not always happen with physical reads. I really rely heavily on audiobooks, but this one did not have an audio available through any of the apps that I use. So I had to read it physically, and it actually went really well. I liked the writing, I liked the characters, there were twists and turns in the narrative that kept me engaged, and I gave this one 4 stars. And now we are into all of my 5-star reads from this list. So at number 4 is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. This one also had a bunch of twists and turns. It breaks the fourth wall a bit, which I know some people didn't like. Some people didn't love the writing style, but I had a great time with it. I found it very funny, very entertaining, and I'm looking forward to reading the rest in the series. Then at number 3, I have The Sirens by Emilia Hart. This one does not have as good of ratings as her release from last year or the year before, which was Wayward, which I also gave 5 stars. I just really like her writing style. I find it very beautiful. I find that it pulls me into the story. She does multiple perspectives or dual narrations, multiple timelines, and that just really works for me. So I gave this one 5 stars. I had a good time with it. At number 2 is The Witch's Heart by Genevieve Gornichec, which I actually just finished and really loved. This one is a mythology retelling focusing on one of Loki's wives, Angrboda, who they call the mother of monsters, and it kind of retells her story. I really liked the writing of this. It's very beautiful, very lyrical. It pulled me in. There were parts that made me feel all kinds of emotions, so it's a definite 5-star and I would definitely recommend. But the book that topped it out and is at the number 1 position is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This one I just had a good time with. For the most part, I actually thought it was going to be a 4-star book until I got to the last few chapters of the story, which made me feel all the feelings. I teared up, I laughed, I smiled, I cried, and that is the mark of a really good book. So I'm giving it 5 stars, and it has earned the top rating of this list of 12. All right, I did create a tier ranking graphic for this video, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen here. You are looking at these books in the order that I read them in each of the ratings, not in the ranking that I just went over, just to clear up any confusion. So putting all that information together, that gives me 4 5-star reads, 3 4-star reads, 2 3-star reads, 2 2-star reads, and 1 DNF for the 12 books on my 2025 TBR, which works out to an average rating of 3.5 stars. And now you can see the graphic that I put together that lists out all of the average star ratings for all of the years that I've been doing these yearly TBRs. So obviously, as I said, in 2025, I had a 3.5 star average rating. In 2024, I had a 3.2 star average rating because I had a number of DNFs that year. In 2023, I had a 3.9 star average rating. In 2022, I had a 3.5 star average rating. And in 2021, I had a 3.9 star average rating. So for the most part, these yearly TBRs have been a success. Obviously, some years are better than others, and I'm looking forward to seeing what 2026 has in store for me. And then again, here is another graphic I put together with just my totals. So you can see that out of all of the yearly TBRs, I have had 6 DNFs, 6 2-star reads, 23 3-star reads, 43 4-star reads, and 24 5-star reads. So obviously 4 stars is where I tend to fall a lot with my ratings. I think that's true just across the board. A lot of books that I read get 4 stars, so that makes sense. But yes, overall, again, I cannot complain too terribly much about what I'm getting out of these TBRs. And I'm hoping that in 2026, because I have been a little bit more strategic with this TBR, which you will see when I do my 2026 TBR video, I'm hoping that will help raise that average rating a little bit, but obviously only time will tell. So that's going to do it for this 2025 TBR recap video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. If you made it to the end of this video and would like to leave an emoji to show you were here, you can leave a heart emoji in honor of The 7-Year Slip, which was my favorite book from this list. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.